And word, and welcome back to Terraria Blue Mage playthrough. Our last episode, we successfully beat the Wall of Flesh. Although, technically, it also beat us, so, I don't know, half victory. Alright, we gotta clear out a little bit of inventory space. Probably should put this on just so I'm not a walking glass cannon right now. And I guess I could put up some of these. I don't need them anymore. I'll start my inventory off camera. I promise this time to actually do it. And we'll leave these because we'll make a blue mage chest. Anyways, so today's episode is going to be a bit of a different one. Basically, it's time to plan out hard mode. Because if we thought the first half of the adventure was going to be difficult, the second half is going to be arguably worse. In fact, this is where I fear I'm going to have to do the thing I didn't want to do. Well, Orbo, that was switching difficulties. Because recall, I said I'm doing this on the hardest difficulty, which I still am. As you can see, still 3.0. But this is probably where I might have to turn it down. Anyways, first things first, I'm going to give myself a flying mount just to speed it up. Which I only use for building, by the way. Yes, big broom. Alright, we have a flying mount. Let's inspect our world. Because now that light and darkness have taken over the world, I need to see where everything's going to go. So far, no hallowed or corruption, aside from the naturally spawning corruption here and here, which we need for, altars. Let's see, any hallowed or corruption. Okay, we do have hallowed. So that means... Okay, cool, the hallowed homes were in the right place. This is where I decided to build the hallowed homes. This will spread over here perfectly and stop the corruption right here, I hope. Let's see, if I act quick enough, I should be able to place some hallowed seeds here to keep the jungle from being corrupted, so the place I made here works. Alright, good to know. And while we're here, I'll show off, what I mean. Now, you might be saying, did you plan on building houses? Yes, but I decided to build templates because I don't feel like I'm going to need a lot more towards the end game materials, we'll say. So I just did a basic outline and I moved some people around so we can get some more NPCs moved in. So if you follow me, the farthest one we have right now is the jungle. Now this one took me a while to come up with. I'm like, well, the jungle's home to the witch doctor, the dryad, and the painter. How the heck can I make a house out of that? Well, what I decided to do, Orbo, was... One second. Any second now. There it is. I have the outline for basically a giant jungle temple. Basically, the witch doctor and the dryad... Sorry about that. Basically, the plan is the witch doctor and the dryad are the representatives of the jungle. The painter moved in looking for more exotic, paints, we'll say. And basically, he's slowly becoming a member of the jungle tribe. So I decided a giant jungle temple would be perfect. And as you can see, I have the outline of what I'm going for, stilts, something giant that stands out. I haven't put a roof on it yet, but that's the basic plan. Now, up here, we have basically where I'm going to put, where I usually put people. That's going to be the mushroom, the dye trader, and this playthrough, the princess, because, well, the hairstylist lives with me. And that one, I can never think of anything good, so I'm just going to make a nice little mushroom house, a nice little castle, and a nice little dye trader shop. But pretty basic, not worth going over, because I haven't made a glow mushroom biome yet. That's one of the things I gotta do off camera, which again, is why we froze the world. Don't worry, I'm just inspecting it. After we're done inspecting, I'm going to undo all this. Now here we have the hallowed home, where the party girl, the bartender, and the wizard will live. Now it took me a while to think, okay, what kind of house would all three of these go together with? What kind of build would we get? And I came up with an idea. Will I be able to pull it off? Probably not, but I got an idea. You ready for it? Well, the idea I came up with is Yeah, it's basically a club. I want to have, like a dance floor, a little bar area, basically just your typical nightclub. The wizard owns it, the party girls like the planner, event planner, the manager or whatever, and then the bartender as well, the bartender. So I'm going to try to turn this into like a proper club, dance floor, lighting, using the glow gemstone blocks, bricks, wherever they are. Will I pull it off? Probably not, but that's what I'm going for. And that should be everything, yes, so we can go back to base. This time we'll go down to show off our underground home and idea. Which I actually don't need this because I fall faster than the broom will let me go. So, the reason I did this is because A, I needed to plan out, and B, I needed some pylons set up. It's really annoying not having any pylons set up. Okay, so here we still have our dwarf explosive friend. I'm going to make him a little bomb hole still. But then if we come all the way over here, we have where the dye trader lives. Or not dye trader, the clothier. The idea is I'm going to fill this with like cobwebs and dyes, basically where he gets the clothes, make it look like a little spider biomes right here. And then a little fishing spot. He spends his day relaxing, fishing, harvesting deadly spider webs from deadly spiders to make his clothing. The kind of stuff you'd see underground. And up here, we have what's going to be the tax collector's room, or house. I might be saying, what the heck is this? Well, the idea is that the tax collector is greedy. So he has one of the smallest houses, minimalistic at best. But he's going to have a giant vault here full of gold and platinum and gold furniture. Basically, the idea is bare minimum, huge extravagance. That should be pretty easy to make, right? Right? I hope so. And then lastly, we have, let's see, we have the snow biome, we have the plains biome, and the ocean. The ocean, I still don't really know what to do. I haven't found the angler yet, so I really don't know what we're going to do there. But, you see, my original plan is what I always do. A pirate ship for the angler and the pirate to share. That's not going to work this time because I'm trying to do different housing. But I'll get to that in a second. Here we are in the snow Arctic biome, which, by the way, we're going to need momentarily. But the idea of this place is simple. The Goblin Tinkerer is like the front of his inventions. Meanwhile, here's where the mechanic lives, actually doing all the work, and the basement, the cyborg eventually. But as you can see, it's covered in snow, so nobody knows this is here. There's even a double door, as you can see. So nobody knows to enter there, and what do they find? Oh, there's the mechanic who actually does all the inventions. Which is why the goblin is a dirty money stealing son of a... Well, I can't say that, can I? Alright, so that's the idea with that, basically secret underground tech room with a cyborg and a true genius, and the Goblin Tinkerer's taking over credit. You hate to see the and this is no longer a home because of corruption. That's bad. See, this is why we needed to expect it, because I wanted to build a house here, which I'm still going to, it just means I'm going to have to get some purifying powder and some hallowed seeds. This is why I want to do an inspection. Anyways, the idea here is Oasis Hotel. I'm going to make it look like an hourglass, so it's like the Sands of Time themed. And it's basically a luxury hotel the arm dealer has as a front for his weapon dealings. After all, at night he sells you some black market weapons. The nurse is because, well, obviously if you're stranded in a desert, you're going to need medical attention. And then the, steampunker will be the VIP. So basically I'm going to try to make a giant luxurious hotel in the shape of an hourglass. I hope. But now, I gotta figure out how to get rid of this corruption. I can't just contaminate it, I don't have access to that yet until we beat one of the mechanical bosses. I guess they could live in temporary housing, and maybe what I could do is plant some hallowed here and here to keep it from spreading, and then just come back with a contaminator? I might have to do that for now. Darn it. Oh well, that's why we're inspecting. And then of course the last world, or no, we have the plains biome with our basic house for our basic guide. Still better than the tax collectors. Here I'm going to make like a golf cottage, a golfer's cottage, kind of like, oh, you know, I need a break from it all, so this is where he lives. And then we'll try to make a pet shop for the zookeeper, zoologist, whatever her name is. Because, I mean, you know, we have terrariums, I can put terrariums in there, make it look like they're selling legitimate pets. Basic ideas, but, you know, I mean, how else am I going to fit a guide, a golfer, and a zoologist together? You can't do it. Or, I can't do it at least. And then lastly, we have the ocean, which again, still don't really know what to do. Because, you know, the last world I did my pirate ship theme, you know, repurposing his pirate ship into a cargo ship and making deals with the merchant. Whereas this one, the merchant's kind of like already retired, so he has this like, you know, modern glass house that's all white. But I don't know what to do for the pirate and the angler yet. By the way, is the angler here? No. I can't find the angler in this world. Yeah, so I don't know what to do here. If this is where the merchant retired, I guess maybe make it like an old folks home for the pirate and the merchant, and then the kid's like the one who's taking care of them both? Maybe I could do that, like a retirement village. Actually, I kinda like the idea of that. What about you, Orbo? Alright, we'll try to make a retirement village. How the heck am I gonna do that? I don't know. But, yeah. So, we now know what we need to do. We need to go to the Dryad and buy a whole bunch of hallowed seeds. Try to stop the corruption from spreading too much. You know, a little bit here, a little bit here. Also keeps the jungle from being corrupted, I hope. And then we need to spread some hallowed right here to keep this contained until I can get a contaminator. Which means... I got some work to do, but I can do that off camera. I'm just planting a few seeds. So, next time we come back, now that I've done my inspection, we gotta plan out our next set of weapons and start working towards them. This is the part that's going to suck, isn't it, Orbo? Yeah, but it has to be done. It has to be done. Well, that was a lot of fun, and I hope you enjoyed as much as I enjoyed gaming. This has been the Mechanist, logging off. Until next time.